Okay, replacing the exhaust on an SH300i. What I've got a replacement sports exhaust to fit on this. You may be wondering why bother, but I think these bikes are actually a bit too quiet, and when you're filtering through traffic, when you get people just crossing between the cars, I think it's nice just to have a bit of noise, and also let other car users know that you're sort of creeping up the side of them, which they don't see. So first things first, it's a complete system I've got. So obviously disconnect that, and I need to sort of start following where the downpipe comes through up to the engine, which is there obviously. Yeah. So first things first, I need to start taking some plastics off. So what I'm going to do, I know I need to get this front section off first, so I'm going to take these two screws off, two Allen heads, and remove the plastic kick plate here on the floor. So I've removed the two Allen heads, screws off the underside. Once you lift the seat up, now I think you need to lower the seat a bit, and this section literally just pops out. Bit of wiggling. There you go, that lifts out. So that bit comes out. There you got your battery, and your fuse box. So there's the downpipe. There's one of the bolts. So I think the next step, you can see under there quite clearly actually, which is quite good. So I can easily get to that first bolt. I'm not sure about how to get to the second one. I have to wait till we maybe have to have a look from underneath, maybe see how we get on. I'm finding it quite difficult for access actually. That's the first one's quite easy, easy to get to. It's a 12mm. It's 12mm. Second one's like right behind. If I can get underneath and show you. Just there. Maybe if you had like some kind of angled swivel joint for your socket, you could probably get to it quite easily, but unfortunately straight line of sight, it's difficult to get anything square onto it. I know you can see it there, but my socket doesn't actually grip on it from this angle. Maybe what I'm thinking now maybe is just somehow take this side panel off, I think maybe. See if that gives me a bit more access. I might just take this one side off actually first and see how I get on from that. See what access that gives me. So taking that panel off hasn't really helped very much. It's just all framework really. There he is in there. But I did realise in my little socket set I have got a universal swivel joint there. So, and I did manage to see it in there. That's it. Yeah. So if anything, it just gives you better visibility really. I just hope I can get it back on again, to be honest. So we unscrew these. There's one out. And the second one, or the first one should I say, is accessible from here. There you go. And that's it. That's the two bolts off. That's the part I was most concerned about. I didn't know how I was going to get to that, to be honest. So it's just quite a big plate there. That drops off. And there it is. Once we get the rest of the exhaust removed. So what it is now, I suppose, going to take these off, these two guards, these two bolts for the guard. Then remove the 3 bolts for the exhaust. And then that should just slide off, it should just drop off then, and then we'll get the new one out of the box and you can have a look at it. Right, I'm going to remove the back box, so that's just held on. 3 bolts, one there, there's 2 on the underside, one there and one there, so go ahead and take these off. There's a clamp there that links the back box to the downpipe, so I think I'll go ahead and take that off, and I might even just take these 2 bolts off, just a plastic shield there, but I'll just take them off anyway, so I'll go ahead and take them off and see how it looks. Well, there it is on the floor, it's off, complete with the downpipe. So next stage is the new exhaust. Okay, so this is what I opted for. MIV. This is the actual model I got. There's loads of them out there, all around the same price. I'll just see the final catalogue number. So this is the catalogue number here. The only reason I actually went for this particular model in the end, because this was a K on the end, which means this has got a built-in catalytic converter as well. So I know the standard SH300's got one built into it, so this one's got one as well now. I don't know what effect that will have on the overall performance, but let's go ahead and unpack it and you can see what it looks like. Pack instructions. The clamp, clamps and nuts and bolts. In here there's a plate. I've already looked at it. This plate's what bolts onto the back of the exhaust to take up the fixings of the original fixings of it. Here's the downpipe we're replacing. This one's actually got a fixing bracket attached to it. I did want to compare actually the difference in these. It's a bit of a different angle on those. I hope it all lines up okay. Very strange angle on that. Also that plate here, this flange plate, is a lot thinner than the original, the Honda one. So I don't suppose you could line up just the back box onto this, onto the original header. Anyway, we'll see how we get on. So that's the downpipe. Here we go. So this is the exhaust. Doesn't look that much different from the original, to be honest, but I quite like this one because it does actually look quite stock to the original exhaust. So, other than the nameplate on, obviously. So let's go ahead and start fitting it. It's got a removable baffle, I hope. There's a fixing screw there at the bottom with an Allen head. It's meant to be removable, this baffle. I don't know quite how it's removable, but apparently it is. Okay, we'll go ahead now. I think I'm going to put the header pipe up first, see how that all lines up. So, there's the instructions for it. You do get 2 new nuts for the header, because that flange plate's actually slightly thinner the original dome nuts obviously won't be deep enough then take the thread inside them. So it's quite good. So I'm going to keep them safe and put the original exhaust back on. So next stage then I would have thought is to mount the back plate to the exhaust, then hopefully just line it up and then just get the flange on it. So I'll go ahead and screw the back plate on and see how it looks. Well, so far so good. I've got the header pipe on. What's quite a nice touch is there's an extra there's a fixing bracket on there which lines up perfectly with this fixing bolt, so that's good. It gives it extra support there. It appears to be bringing it out a bit further than the original. It's actually stuck it out a bit further. If you can see it in there, but I'll just turn the camera around because of the silly lenses in the corner. So that's all bolted up nicely now. That's all nipped up. I'm sure there's obviously a torque setting. You don't want to over tighten them. The last thing I'm going to do is shear or snap the threads on those on the head. So here it is all lined up. If you can see, this back plate, I've actually got little bushings inside the on the actual fixing. So I suppose that's to take up some kind of movement within the engine going on. So according to this drawing, it's going to go that way. Right, I'll go ahead and mount it on and we'll see how it looks. Well, the first disappointment is, other than the bolts just look like normal steel bolts to me, which they look like stainless steel ones, but I don't know, the actual holes don't line up properly with the lugs, which is a bit of a disappointment. That one's quite a way out. I mean, you could probably, I think what I might do, I might just get the drill. There's not much play on those. I might just get the drill and just open up the holes a little bit and see how we get on from there. It's a shame really, because it was all going so nicely, going together so well. Well, I just took a drill to the holes really and just opened them up a little bit, and everything seems to be lined up now. So they're on, bolts are all on. So it looks like you don't put that little plate back on there. They give you an extra nut there for that, just to take support. Put the clamp bolt on, make sure you put that on first obviously. Do that nice and tight. That's pretty much it now. I'm gonna, as curious as you are now, I'm gonna start it up and see how it sounds. Okay, well, I thought it had more of a sporty sound to it than that, to be honest, but doesn't sound that much different from the original. What I'm going to try and do next is see how this baffle comes out. Apparently it's got a removable baffle, but not quite see how that works, to be honest with you. I can't see no fixing screw or anything. I'll have to have a look into the manual or something. So we'll see how we go from there.